Hi and welcome to Write Out number 4. And I hope it doesn't take me 4 attempts to do this today because I've had 3 lots of interruptions already. Okay, let's start with sharing our screen for today's poem. So it's called Writing in the Afterlife by Billy Collins. I imagined the atmosphere would be clear, shot with pristine light, not this sulphurous haze, the air ionised as before a thunderstorm. Many have pictured a river here, but no one mentioned all the boats, their benches crowded with naked passengers, each bent over a writing tablet. I knew I would not always be a child with a model train and a model tunnel, and I knew I would not live forever, jumping all day through the hoop of myself. I had heard about the journey to the other side and the clink of the final coin in the leather purse of the man holding the oar. But how could anyone have guessed that as soon as we arrived, we would be asked to describe this place and to include as much detail as possible? Not just the water, he insists, rather the oily, fathomless, rat-happy water, not simply the shackles, but the rusty iron ankle-shredding shackles. And that our next assignment would be to jot down off the tops of our heads our thoughts and feelings about being dead. Not really an assignment, the man rotating the oar keeps telling us. Think of it more as an exercise, he groans. Think of writing as a process, a never-ending infernal process. And now the boats have become jammed together, bow against stern, stern locked to bow, and not a thing is moving, only our diligent pens. So that's today's poem, and as you will have guessed if you've watched a few of these that I've been doing, today's writing exercises come from the poems. So I'm having trouble with my PowerPoint, and I'm just going to get that. Here we go. And the Billy Collins poem was At the Poetry Foundation. So, our poetry writing prompt for today. It's about how do you write poems? Where do you get your ideas? And what starts a poem for you? And then about redrafting. Now, these apparently mundane questions are things we don't often think about until somebody asks. So your poem today is about writing. Maybe there's a metaphor you can use, like Sisyphus pushing his rock up a hill over and over. Or maybe the idea of writing reminds you of someone critical or a troubling experience. Maybe writing's always a struggle for you. Try to start with one word that sums up what writing is for you and make a mind map, free associating other words, and then collect some of them and write a poem. Now, your fiction writing prompt, a little bit different. Writing doesn't always have to be about new ideas. So take a character from a previous novel or story you've written and give them a new setting, a new bunch of characters to bounce off, and a new story problem. Maybe they've moved cities or moved to the country or changed jobs. How do they cope when things go wrong? And of course, things must go wrong. Now, your creative nonfiction or memoir prompt is a little bit different today. It might seem a bit grim, but I've given this to a few different classes over the years. And once people get past the first shock of the idea, they usually have fun with it. Where would you like to die? How will it happen? Will it be dramatic or quiet? Who will be there? What will you say? Take it as a positive prompt. There's no need to be dark and depressing unless, you feel like it. Have some fun with it. So I hope you enjoyed today's ideas. My book recommendation for today is the Poetry Home Repair Manual by Ted Kuza. It's a view of life as a poet, what you gain from the reading and the writing of poetry. The first chapter is about life as a poet, and it's both kind of entertaining and realistic. There's lots of insights, lots of poem examples and writing exercises. So that's my recommendation. This Zoom broadcast has been recorded. I will upload it to my YouTube channel. Just search for Sherryl Clark. But also I'm putting them on my blog now, sherylclark.blogspot.com. You can tell I've done this too many times. Thanks for joining in, and I'll just stop the share and go back to me. Okay, see you next week, and I hope you're all well.